that conversation though was kind of like the last episode was like pretty much all creative stuff. And our show typically is, based around that plus what's going on in the world. And so the post show conversation was like Corona and, all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I wanted to bring up some things. And I like how the last show went. It was tight. But there's some crazy shit going on where it's basically, COVID is getting worse.
Yeah, in Texas, over a
yeah,
million.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. There's a dude I work with who's from El Paso, and he was talking like a week or two ago about like people there just like posting pictures like shit's back to normal and like no masks. He's like these
Right.
motherfuckers. And then this story popped up about how it got real bad. There was like a flare up in El Paso, and
to say the least, yeah.
Yeah,
Major.
I'm gonna try to let me see if I can share my screen here.
Yeah, come on. Let's slow this bitch down. Let's shut it down.
Multitasking.
No, you're good. But no, over a million in Texas. We're like the number one now. In Texas, we like to be number one.
Oh yeah.
But I knew the cavalier attitude of, the establishment in this state was going to be like, open up, got to make that money.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Pray to Jesus. Talk to me.
All that.
Get your game tight.
Get your game tight. Get your pants tight.
No mask.
Yeah.
Pussy.
I got I don't know if it's in there or not, but I shared the screen with you.
Oh, yeah.
You got to bring it in.
Yeah. Look at you.
This article, I don't want to play the video, obviously, but it's about, is it there? Is it in? I can't see.
El Paso calls.
There you go.
In 10 refrigerated morgue trailers amid surge and coronavirus deaths.
That is crazy. So the story I saw on the news was that they called in 6, and then those 6 got filled up, so they called 4 more in. And that's just crazy, man. It's kind of morbid to think about, but it's I don't know how you could read stories like this and not wear a mask and not do your best to socially distance.
Right. Especially if you want to get back to normal. It's never going to stop getting worse. That's the nature of the virus. It's easy to catch and it's easy to spread. Yeah. So the only way to get back to normal would be to wear a mask and socially distance yourself and just make a few sacrifices.
Right. I mean, just do that until, this vaccine stuff pops off and we got to hopefully get a good vaccine.
It shouldn't be political at all, but it was. But the people that fell for that, are the people that are getting sick now. It's like, what are you doing?
That's sad, man. It's unfortunate.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's like these numbers are just crazy. Just in El Paso,
at least 64,158 people were confirmed to have tested positive, and more than 673 deaths have been reported in El Paso County since the beginning of the pandemic, according to public health data on Monday. The death toll was up 605 reported fatalities on November 2nd and 557 deaths on October 10th, data showed. Mm-hmm. So it's up to 605. But they say it's like the amount of people dying every day is like 3 airplanes full of people. Like if 3 airplanes full of people crashed every day. Yeah. And it's gonna jump. It's gonna be extra. What's that? Exponentially jump. So we're at the stage now where we're doubling. And then when you double, you quadruple, and then you quadruple whatever 8 is. And like we're on that pace right now. So it's getting ridiculous. Nobody's really saying anything about it. The president, he's completely shut down. He's playing golf and crying and sulking, and they don't even do the task force shit. So it's a mess. It's a mess.
I just don't understand how people can not look at that objectively and be like, this is not being handled well. I'm talking about Trump supporters,
right.
And, there's a lot of other things, a lot of other reasons to support Trump. You know, not me, but a lot of other reasons that people have for supporting him. But there's just certain things where you're like, what is he doing?
Extremely irresponsible. And,
I have to agree with
he
that.
brags about not being a politician, but he's in politics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it. You're a businessman, but we all know you're a shitty businessman based on the amount of bankruptcies, based on the amount of taxes you don't have to pay because you don't make any money. We basically, with the information out there, everybody should know and realize that this guy is pretty much a con man.
I mean, the history
Based on all
shows
the
it.
information,
Yeah. It's been like that for a long time, but yeah.
Exactly.
I'm going to share on this same topic another screen with you.
Okay, let me pull it up. There we go. Oh, look at her.
Oh, how you doing? Yeah, so this is basically the same thing, COVID, spreading throughout Texas jails and prisons.
Oh, yeah. A recent study done by UT Austin found 231 people have died in Texas jails and prisons since the start of the pandemic. Not good.
Yeah, that's an ad that keeps playing.
No, that's cool.
So, yeah, it's like I mean, it says deja vu right there. It's like it's all coming back with a vengeance. There's I believe it's John Hopkins has a website with it's like the official charts and everything tracking COVID. And within the last 2 days, there's a spike at the end that is like the highest spike that we've seen since the beginning. And I forget what the numbers are for the US, but it's like it's everywhere is spiking, and I can only assume that that's coming from people getting out and voting, possibly. Which it's like you got to do what you got to do, right? But I don't know what else would cause that spike. But every time there's been like a holiday, since this started, 2 weeks after that holiday or 2 weeks after a big event, you start seeing the results of the spreading of COVID from those events. And it's like people just forget about that aspect of this whole thing, where it's like you might not see the effects of it until 14 days later on average.
No, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was tripping. But no, yeah, and we're at the rate now. I mean, this is the highest it's been since the damn pandemic started.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's gonna really start doubling, tripling, and it's just gonna get bigger and bigger. And what's the sad part about it is we're right at the cusp of getting a vaccine, to get a handle on it. And it just seems like the people that are, it's nobody's fault. Everybody gets the flu and shit, but there are precautions you can take and you should be taking.
Right.
There's a lot of, in Texas, religious people who, Jesus take care of me. And that's all fine and dandy, but God gave you a brain, and you have to use that, especially down in this realm, wherever we're here on earth now, and you have a brain, you can see, you can hear, and you can think, and you have to, apply those rules to this dimension. You know what I mean?
Way of putting it. Yeah.
And a lot of people, they don't really look at it that way, but it's like,
that's unfortunate.
Another thing too, on that note, is what trips me out. That's a trip.
Yep.
Name of the show.
Bring it on around.
But people go to the doctor all the time, and they take, something's wrong with you. Your doctor tells you, okay, this is what's wrong. Here's a prescription. You take that prescription, you go to the pharmacy, you gladly take the medicine, you take the word of the doctor. Like, you listen to him, you respect him. He's in charge of keeping you healthy and giving you tips and giving you medicine. You completely respect the doctor on every aspect, except for wearing a mask. Like, all they do is wear masks. They stress it. They live by it. They wouldn't be able to go to work every day if they didn't have a mask. But you won't listen to them.
So
and that's
crazy.
just that's amazing. That's amazing. Because I'm somebody who's afraid of the doctor. I don't like going to him. unless I absolutely have to. But most people, they're not like that. They
Yeah.
go and they trust their doctor, but they won't listen to medical professionals in this incident, and people are dying to back up the facts. It's just
It's
strange.
just, yeah, it is very odd.